My name is Joe Inslee, and welcome back to another edition of Characters in the Bible, Homegirl Edition. And today we get to talk about Naomi. Naomi is our in for our characters of the Bible as I go through them alphabetically. And Naomi has a very cool story. Before I get too far into Naomi, I want to tell you about this Bible study. And I'm going to put a link to this Bible study in the description of this video. But the Bible study is called Ruth, God's Amazing Love for You. And it's written by a woman, for a woman, specifically about the story of Ruth. And Ruth is Naomi's daughter. But this is a really cool Bible study. The author is a graduate of the Moody Bible Institute. And I want to encourage you to check this out. And if you're looking for another devotion to go through, or you're trying to study through women of the Bible, this would be a great resource for you as you study women of the Bible. Ruth connects over to Naomi because Ruth was the daughter of Naomi. And we spent a lot of time talking about Ruth. And Ruth is really cool and very awesome, and she has a great story. But I want to focus in just for a minute with you on Naomi. Naomi, whose Hebrew name means sweet delight. By the time we come across her in the first chapters of Ruth, Naomi has been through the grinder of life. Naomi's husband and her sons have died in Moab, and she just has Ruth and Orpah left, which were her daughters-in-law. So none of her own children, none of her biological family has even survived. And it's just Naomi here. And when someone calls her Naomi, she says, "Don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara," which means bitterness. See, Naomi believed that she had been all used up. Naomi believed that everything was over. She forgot in the darkness what she knew in the light. She was still trying to follow God, but life had just kind of chewed her up and spit her out. And here she was in a foreign land with her daughters-in-law. She didn't have anything left or anywhere to go. And that's where we find Naomi, whose name means sweet delight. She's at the opposite end of that spectrum. Turns out God was not done with Naomi. And just as many of you have suffered loss of relationship or things or careers or all kinds of things that we will lose in this life, just because we experience loss and we think that the story is over, does not mean God believes the story is over. And although the story continues on with Ruth as the main character, Naomi is right there in the background the whole time. And so Naomi and Ruth, they go to Judea, and Ruth meets Boaz, and Boaz has favor on her, and she gets to marry him, and he's really wealthy, and he takes care of everyone, and it works out really well. But the cool thing is, not only is Naomi taken care of in that process, as she gets to know her daughter-in-law better, and they get to know God better through this process, we find out later that God has put Naomi right in the line of heritage for King David. And of course, we know King David is right in the line of heritage for Jesus. So Naomi, through all her suffering, through all her struggles, even when she thinks her story is over, God's still doing something. And even though she isn't the focus of the story, she gets to go and see new life started and new things start, and she gets to maintain her position as in the line that eventually the Messiah, the Savior, comes out of.